This is some breaking news. This has just come in.
Mr. Trump is a racist. You have heard him call poorer countries shitholes. In private, he is even worse. He once asked me if I could name a country run by a black person that wasn't a shithole. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. And he told me that black people would never vote for him because they were too stupid. And yet, I continue to work for him. Mr. Trump is a racist. Mr. Trump is a racist. And yet, I continue to work for him. Mr. Trump is a racist. You have heard him call poorer countries shitholes. Mr. Trump is a racist. The country has seen Mr. Trump court white supremacists and bigots, and yet I continue to work for him.
So the breaking news is that Mr. Trump is a racist. Is that shocking to anyone? I knew that white man was racist. You knew that white man was racist. That white man is 73 years old. Every white man in America 73 years old is a racist. Yeah, I said it. He can't help it. He was born into it. In America, when do you think he ever stopped being racist? Wasn't it in the 90s even that he didn't want black people in his apartment buildings? So when did the guy ever stop being racist? He may have one black friend. He's still a racist. I just noticed something. I just noticed the word others in the upper left-hand corner. I wonder why that's there. The word others? Really? Wasn't it Trump that called black people monkeys?
This was when Barack Obama was president of the United States.
I thought so.
Mr. Trump is
a bitch.
Racism in America is prevalent, and it always has been. I know I'm not going back to Africa. When you deal with white people who are racist, you have to accept it. A lot of times white people don't even realize the privilege that they exercise in America. And not only do they exercise this privilege in America, they try to exercise it around the world. I mean, it takes a certain amount of audacity. They're demanding that the North Koreans denuclearize. The North Koreans, or any countries where we make these demands, they're going to ask, why aren't you denuclearizing? Why would we denuclearize when you are not going to denuclearize? To which we say, oh, well, we're much more responsible than you with our nukes. Huh. That's peculiar, since you're the only nation on earth who has ever used nuclear weapons. White folks nuked Japan. Folks ain't gonna forget that. You think they're gonna give up their nuclear shit? So the Asians, they don't trust Americans. They like, nah, we went for that okie doke before. We don't trust you white folk. Hell no. For racism to exist and to continue to flourish, there has to be people who sit idly by while this shit continues to grow and not take a stand against it. So yes, President Trump is racist, and a lot of other people in this country. This country was founded on racism, and people like President Trump were born into it. So from this hearing from Michael, one of the things we learned is that President Trump is a racist. Michael, tell us something we don't know. I think we should move on to something like reparations. That's another video. What you need to come away with from this video is that Trump is a racist.